Did you guys miss my face? Because I did. I absolutely did. Editing without my face has been like misery. All right, let's get right into it. I don't want to waste anyone's time. So, Pretty Little Thing is one of the most popular brands. It's one of the most popular clothing brands, known for the signature pink unicorn in its branding. It's also known for being a brand that excels in influencer marketing, having collabs with people like Tiana Taylor, Becky G, and so many Love Island contestants, which is kind of their thing. Like, think Molly May, literally all of them. Actually, Pretty Little Thing is one of those brands that when the Instagram baddie was first starting to be a thing, that most of the it girls, most of the popular girls on Instagram saw as a badge of honor to be sponsored by them or to work with them. But most importantly, Pretty Little Thing is known for being a fast fashion company where popular styles are sold for a fraction of the price. And as you can guess, the quality is sacrificed as well. And this isn't unique to Pretty Little Thing. Think about brands like Fashion Nova and Shein. And while there are many things to complain about when it comes to fast fashion companies, people seem to be okay as long as the price remains the same and the brand remains humble. In other words, we've never heard this much criticism toward a fast fashion brand for their carbon emissions and immoral labor practices, which all of them are guilty of. But when Pretty Little Thing stops being what people expect it to be, giving their entire website, marketing, and branding a reset that many can no longer relate to, many people had strong opinions about what it all means.
You want to know why Pretty Little Thing's rebrand looks like this and also this? It's because of this. She's an icon. And even the fashion industry is like, whoa, let's make some shifts. So what are you about to see a lot of? You're about to see a lot of clean lines, a lot of luxury looking fabrics, a lot of structured jackets and dresses. And you're going to see some more conservative looks. So while all the Democrats were cracking jokes about the Republican style and Republican makeup and all of that, it looks like a lot of the clothes in the stores are about to be giving Republican vibes. It looks like they're about to be giving luxury vibes and classy vibes. Book your hair color appointment now. That blue, that purple might need to come out. It looks like class is back. Who'd have thunk it? It looks like we're about to be looking to the White House for fashion advice. And I'm here for that.
I really wanted to talk about the rise in conservatism that we're seeing in this generation, which is really surprising because I wouldn't assume that Generation Z or Gen Z, which I'm a part of, would be going down this trend. This tweet in particular, I feel like is like a perfect example of this because we've all seen the PLT rebrand, how they're going down a very old money, like, I don't know, almost Mormon aesthetic where we're going to see girls wearing suit jackets and pointed heels to the club, which we really don't need, by the way. Fashion and what's currently trending with the whole old money aesthetic is really interesting indicator of people's political leanings, and clearly we can see that this whole rise of the trad wife life and stay-at-home moms and wearing blazers and trying to go for this old money aesthetic is where we're heading.
So guys, let's take a look at Pretty Little Thing's new branding, which you could pretty much see as soon as you open up the website. We see that it is true that PLT has moved toward a completely different aesthetic compared to the more vibrant colors and revealing styles of the past. Now, we are seeing more nudes, browns, beiges. I see some muted yellows as well, and more conservative styles. Many have referred to this as lining up with the clean girl aesthetic. They're not too happy about that. People see it as very similar to like an old money aesthetic, a trad wife aesthetic, all valid takeaways. So yeah, the overall logo, website, everything to do with the marketing for this new launch does not seem to be appealing to the previous target audience. But I think there's a really good point that can be made here when talking about fast fashion brands specifically. I feel like the target audience isn't who we usually think it is We think about a target audience, but we have to be thinking about it in a different way when referring to fast fashion brands. I feel like a lot of people have this misconception that Pretty Little Thing did have a target audience for people who liked that colorful party wear or BBL fashion. But in reality, I feel like Pretty Little Thing just targets people who are trying to follow the latest trend. And there's no shade in this. I used to shop with Pretty Little Thing. I don't anymore for several reasons, but we're not going to go there right now. But they cater to people who follow the latest trend. They cater to people who don't really have their own sense of style. That's how most fast fashion companies operate. Think about it for a second and you'll see that I'm right. So essentially for Pretty Little Thing, I think this is just an attempt to stay relevant and sell as much as possible, as most fast fashion brands aim to do. They're not typically loyal brands with an audience that they consistently aim to please, at least not in the way that a lot of people think they do. They're catering to people who want to keep up with trends. And yes, they do have their demographics that they target, but it's not as narrowed down as slow fashion companies, if that's a term that I can use. Now, you've probably seen all these opinions that Pretty Little Thing has made this shift as a dog whistle to conservative consumers, or that this is just a side effect of the rise in fascism, conservatism, and wealth disparity. Someone on Twitter stated, "Every model is skinny, every model is white, -1, and plus sizes are basically gone. This rebrand feels elitist and racist. This is terrible." Now, is it really that deep? Is Pretty Little Thing becoming political? Because that's what a lot of people on TikTok are suggesting right now. I know a lot of you have seen the discourse about Lululemon targeting a specific demographic, and even with their hiring process, about them not really fucking with the urban population and all of that. And there's even this video that went viral of this black rap artist singing that Lululemon song. I don't know if you guys have heard it. If you haven't heard it, you're missing out. You want me back? I can't get out. Yeah, the queen put some Lulu on it. That Lululemon. But she's singing this Lululemon song on stage with a Lulu set on, and there were so many jokes and people in the comments reprimanding her, actually saying how this is Lululemon's worst nightmare and that she should basically be embarrassed, and they're gonna raise their prices because they want it to be less accessible to us niggas. Anyway, now I do see exactly where people are coming from. I do, because there are definitely brands who aim for that exclusivity, and when people outside of that exclusive group that they target wear the brand, they do feel like it inevitably cheapens it. This is just a fact. But I'm not sure a Pretty Little Thing would go out of their way to take things that seriously, being a fast fashion brand and all, or if they're, like I was saying earlier, just trying to stay relevant. Because why would everything still be polyester if Pretty Little Thing wasn't doing that pig wearing lipstick thing? You're not fooling anyone. As per one of their most recent statements, according to The Independent, this is what they had to say. "If we're a style source, it means committing to being on the cutting edge of the trend. It means committing to curating, editorializing, playing in culture." And if that doesn't tell you how much loyalty Pretty Little Thing lacks, if that doesn't tell you that they're basically telling you to kiss their ass, I don't know what will, because who is looking for their favorite brand to play in culture? What the fuck does that even mean? Like, girl, bye. I think the brand is taking a turn away from BBL fashion, that's for sure, but it's simply because BBLs are becoming less popular now and less people look at the BBL body type as aspirational. Not everybody, but less people. Like, clearly people are going to continue to get BBLs, but the level of popularity has certainly decreased, even for the most popular influencers who have the body type. And just less of that aspirational energy around the BBL in general. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. Do you guys feel like BBL fashion is basically over, or let me know what you think. Another thing about the BBL is it definitely started as a craze among urban influencers, and then it eventually became something that any Instagram baddie felt was a staple, even the white ones. But now that everybody's going back to their original race, I feel like that decreases the the BBL pool even more. And obviously brands like Pretty Little Thing take notice of this and they try to keep up. Now, what does this really mean for influencers? Because I've seen so many people come out and predict that a lot of influencers will suffer, not just because of Pretty Little Thing, but also because of other brands who are making a similar shift. The concern is that these fashion brands are reducing visibility for more urban fashion content creators and making the content space less accessible for them. I've even seen people commenting on fashion influencers' TikToks and borderline bullying them for doing hauls of Pretty Little Things rebrand. But what do you guys think of this? Because for me, it's tricky. I do believe in boycotting brands who show their ass, not necessarily with the clothing itself, but with the change in diversity in models, because I don't believe that this aesthetic is exclusive to white people. There are plenty of people of all races who have old money or who love and wear this aesthetic on a daily basis. But to watch the website of all color when there was way more diversity is quite telling. So I understand why people would say to boycott Pretty Little Thing for that reason. However, I feel like we do have to understand that some people's following kind of relies on them doing specific drops and doing those hauls, and it is their livelihood at the end of the day. It's just easier said than done, and it's not gonna be as easy for them to just drop it. Now, I'm not saying it's right, and I'd be quick to drop things and disassociate real quick, but we have to understand that everyone's different and it's just not that easy. It's just not our money on the line, you know? So I feel like it's really easy for us to run our mouths and talk about it. Besides, I just feel like it's not productive to insinuate to someone that they just hate themselves when they are just trying to do their job. People work at horrible companies built on racism every single day as people of color. I don't think it's right, okay? I don't think it's right. The difference is you don't get to see it online though. And I feel like the more we see things online, like the easier it is to judge. But yeah, again, I don't think it's right or fair or cool. I'm just saying. But yeah, did you guys enjoy seeing my face today? Been a while since I've been on camera, so I do feel a little bit awkward. I apologize for the lighting. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know what you think about the rebranding in the comments. Do you think it's a dog whistle to conservatism, or all that other stuff that people are saying on TikTok? Just let me know your opinion. Please leave me a comment down below if you have anything to share about this Pretty Little Thing rebranding. I would love to know your thoughts and opinions. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already, if you feel like it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.